Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hi there.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much.
As this is, as we have been saying, the apocalypse, the great unveiling, everything is kind of coming out into the open, so to speak. I think things are getting very, very visible. You know, it's this illusion that's been over us, this glamour that's been over the world, that's kept it in darkness and it deceived, is really eroding away now.
Yes, some of it's coming in a trickle, and then other things are coming in a river of information.
As we're looking at a picture of some of the world leaders there, and I think we're going to get a better idea of the true power structure as we move forward, out of 2020. 2020, it's been a year of vision, has it not? 2020.
Oh my gosh, that's really good. Yes, it has.
Starting to see things clearly now, aren't we?
In hindsight, you bet.
At last, but all too well, we can see how it's all coming to pass here.
Yes, and we're grateful for this vision.
Interesting. Do you guys know about the Council for Inclusive Capitalism?
I'm sure it's super fair, right?
Well, yeah, we're going to take a look at this. They say they're making the world fairer, more inclusive, and sustainable. They want you to join their movement with other CEOs, leaders, and individuals transforming economies and societies. They have a little video you could watch there to get inspired.
Yes, and yep. I'm speechless.
I asked you yesterday, we were talking about the biblical Jesus, and I asked you, what do you feel he would think if he saw the state of the churches?
It's really sad. I don't want to say it, but I'll say, because I feel that he's sad because there's so much deceit, and they're teaching his ways under an enormous amount of deceit, and it saddens him.
The Council for Inclusive Capitalism is a movement of the world's business and public sector leaders who are working to build a more inclusive, sustainable, and trusted economic system that addresses the needs of our people and the planet. Capitalism has lifted billions of people out of poverty, but many in society have been left behind, and the planet has paid a price. There is a moral imperative to address this challenge, and they are taking action. Their members undertake measurable commitments to help create equal opportunity, equitable outcomes, fairness across generations on the environment, fairness to all, enabling full economic participation. As you see here, you got the Pope. Mm-hmm. The Pope is at the center point of this.
Yes.
The Pope is at the center point of this picture as well. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So they're responding to a challenge by Pope Francis to build inclusive and sustainable economies and societies. And they're challenging others to join them. Interesting, as we see this out of Market Watch. The Council for Inclusive Capitalism with the Vatican, a new alliance of global business leaders, launches today. Well, that was the 8th.
Yes, that was the 8th, but, this isn't very exciting to me.
Well, what it is, as we're saying, all will be revealed. Mm-hmm. And we know that we're in a transition period. We're definitely in a transition period. We know there's plans to change things. You see the acceptance of Bitcoin, for instance. We know there's the quote-unquote Great Reset underway, right? Everything is changing. Everything is going to a different level, and a whole new system is going to roll out. And I think the illusion of the separateness of the countries even is going to start to make it to the mainstream, where people recognize that it's more of a corporate world than it is a nationalistic world.
Mm-hmm. Well, we need people to awaken. We need more people that understand what the bigger picture is and what the bigger plan is.
So this is a historic new partnership between some of the world's largest investment and business leaders and the Vatican, and it launched on December 8th. It signifies the urgency of joining moral and market imperatives to reform capitalism into a powerful force for the good of humanity. Reminds me of that famous Bush speech, A New World Order. Under the moral guidance of His Holiness Pope Francis and His Eminence Cardinal Peter Turkson, who lead the dicastery for promoting integral human development at the Vatican, and inspired by the moral imperatives of all faith, the Council invites companies of all sizes to harness the potential of the private sector to build a fairer, more inclusive, and sustainable economic foundation for the world. The Council is led by a core group of global leaders known as Guardians for Inclusive Capitalism. Is this the guardians of the earth, the guardians of the universe, right? Makes you feel like, oh, these guys must be like superheroes, right?
Yeah, they must be angels.
Well, these leaders represent more than 10.5 trillion in assets under management, companies with over 2.1 trillion of market capitalization, and 200 million workers in over 163 countries. So, let's meet some of the guardians. Maybe it's actually people you might have actually heard of before. Oh. Wow. Look at that. The founding and managing partner. Lynn Forrester Day. Well, I won't say that last name there. And we see Rajiv Shah of look at that foundation. So these are your leaders, along with the Pope and many others as well, and very, very powerful, wealthy people. The controllers. Meet your guardian controllers. We see the oil industry there as well. We see the head of Visa, Johnson & Johnson, Merck. Yeah. UN. UN Finance Advisor. DuPont. Yes. MasterCard. We see the big players. Isn't that interesting? So, these are the people that are going to save you according to what we're reading right here. Do you guys feel that you're in good hands?
Oh, and they have everyone's best interest at heart because the Pope said.
Yeah, the Pope said. And this is out of RT. What in God's name? Pope Francis plans to fix global capitalism with the help of the... Interesting. Again, now things are starting to come a little bit more to the surface, and we do know also, there's all these rumors too about there being a black Pope, so to speak, and that doesn't mean he comes from any type of particular race background. We're talking black in a different way. And then there's certain sects within that, the Catholic Church, such as the Jesuits, which are thought to have a lot of control. I just thought this was cute. Again, it's God's. It's God's. The tithing goes directly to God with the big G. And, obviously we see the wealth of the Vatican and the issues of the world. The one thing we know since this whole plague upon the land has happened is that the wealth has actually consolidated greatly into the hands of the guardians, basically, as well as some others. How much are they really worth? It's hard to say. It's billions. It's not truly known. And then how do you value some of the artifacts that are hidden away there in the Vatican as well, which are priceless?
Right. You can't. There is no way.
It's tough to know, and they're not going to let you know. Billions for sure. 2,000 years of wealth accumulation from Caesar to the space age, for sure. The unfortunate hypocrisy that we find across the globe is being exposed, and I guess that maybe that they question the intelligence of the masses.
Oh, they do. And if they can't get their way, they're going to kind of start to force their way. But I do believe we are coming to a point where more and more people are waking up, and we are going to push back.
And this is talking about how the normal people might find some quarters, dimes, and nickels, and maybe even a $1 or $5 bill in the sofa cushions. Well, they found hundreds of millions just kind of tucked away off its central balance sheet. Oh, look at what we have here.
Yeah.
And what could you do with that, with truly feeding the poor? As we know the biblical quotes pretty well. So, the parable of the rich young ruler, saying he's been following Christ and his ways. And Jesus said, well, if you want to be perfect, go sell all your possessions, give them to the poor, and you'll have treasure in heaven. And then come and follow me. But he couldn't do it because you can't serve two masters, right? If someone takes your coat, give him also your cloak as well. If he makes you go a mile with him, go two. Do you think that what we have seen from the Vatican is exemplary of the teachings of Christ?
Oh my gosh, it's compared to the Christ teachings, it's nauseating.
It's very true. And so, meet your leaders, meet your guardians of the planet, the ones that are going to ensure equality for all.
Of course they will.
And I hope you guys can understand the cynicism that's coming through. As always, guys, we thank you for your support on Ko-Fi, Patreon. Make sure you subscribe. Click the bell for all notifications on both channels. Be prepared for whatever comes. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.